Welcome back as we pick up the action. Cameron Meyer is nearing the outskirts of Swansea, but behind him the HTC pairing of Tony Martin and Michael Albacini have swept up the remains of the initial breakaway on the descent of Black Mountain and now have the lone leader in their sights.
So Meyer is about to get company. The catch is imminent just behind. They're almost up to Meyer as we look back to the main field. And remember, the yellow jersey is ensconced in this group of riders. But he's losing time, and the men at the front turning the screw look to be set to rejig the overall classification. Here they are right on the front, the two men that are causing the damage, Tony Martin and of course it's Michael Albacini.
Yeah, they've picked up the remnants of those breakaway riders, so it's nice to see people like Simon Richardson and Ian Bibby in the break still.
Yeah, Bibby's had a great day. Richardson, you can see, third wheel back in the black and the red for Sigma Sport Specialised, and also doing a good ride today is Mark McNally for the Anposh Sean Kelly in the green.
Yeah, well, they're coming very close up to the finishing circuit. We've got a loop of just over 4 kilometres, including the climb of Constitution Hill, and that's going to be very interesting.
When we get through Kingsway, it's 2.5 mile loop to tidy it up. And of course, we've been to Constitution Hill before. That was back in 1999 when Raimundas Rumsas, the Lithuanian, won the stage, just getting rid of Jens Voigt in the closing stages. I just wonder if we're going to end up with a couple contesting the sprint finish here. But it is Martin doing all the driving, and Albacini is profiting from this.
Yeah, it's great work from Tony Martin, considering he was struggling a little bit yesterday. But Sky are still chasing at the head of the peloton, trying to bring this gap down.
They are. It just lips up a little bit there, doesn't it? But this is absolutely nothing compared with what's waiting for them. 5 kilometres to go, 3 miles, so they're approximately half a mile now from the line.
Yes, Tony Martin doing great work here. He's not thinking of anything but getting Albacini to the foot of that climb and getting as much time gap between himself and the group of Greg Henderson.
Yep, he's getting an armchair ride, isn't he? Now, this is the chasing group. They're on that greasy descent, and they've got, as I say, a lot of work to do if they want to try and keep this gap close. Still at the front then, the HTC Columbia riders as they come into the finishing funnel, and there's a very big crowd here. They've stood there all day in the pelting rain to see this, and I tell you what, they're going to be treated to a superb grand finale.
Well, I certainly don't expect this group to still all be together after the climb of Constitution Hill, but who can get away, or we're going to see who really is the strongest rider now.
Up to the line. Couple of twists and turns before they turn to face it, and of course it's cobbles, isn't it, Graham? So they'll be looking to try and find a smooth path.
It's cobbles, but there is a little smooth path either side of the road. It's more paving stone, so it does give it a slightly easier ride, but there is a little climb before they get to Constitution Hill, which is also going to hurt the legs.
And let's not forget, as they're approaching this hill, they've got in their legs, as you refer to them, about 90 miles, so it's going to be a weary ascent for one or two of them. Still at the front, we've got Team Sky. Just caught a glimpse back there of the yellow jersey of Greg Henderson. Now he must be really concerned.
He is. Also saying there is Richie Port, so it's not only Greg Henderson that's missed out on that move.
Yeah, but Richie Port will be able to fly up this climb because he is the king of the mountain, so that's not going to frighten him. Greg Henderson, well, that's a different kettle of fish. He's a big fella, a sprinter.
He is, but the sort of guys like that can normally get off this. This is typical sort of climb you get in Belgium classics.
3 kilometres to go. You saw the blue sign there on the side of the road. Now I'm just waiting to see Tony Martin to swing over. He was in the break yesterday on stage 2 and then blew near the end and lost a lot of time, but he's recovered well and he's doing a fantastic job here for his teammate Albacini, who's a former winner of the Tour of Austria, and he's won a couple of stages in the Tour of Switzerland in his career. Hasn't had a win this year, but he may well place himself in yellow at the end of this.
Yeah, the riders, you can see out the saddle there, this is a tough little climb before the right turn, and you've got about 500 metres before the sharp left, and almost Constitution Hill almost immediately after the left turn.
It's the hors d'oeuvre, isn't it, that, Graham?
It is, yeah, just to take the just to hurt the legs a little bit more.
You do plan these. You don't plan these routes, do you, with the pain in your legs that you had as a pro?
I would have actually planned a route like this for myself, I think.
Yeah, I think this would have suited you definitely. And of course, all riders excel in different departments, some on the climbs, some in the sprint, some in the time trial. But here I think we're going to see Albacini, the Swiss man, trying to profit from this incredible amount of work that his teammate Martin has done once they do get onto the climb.
Well, there's nobody going to give him a turn on the front at the moment, is there? They're just leaving it all down to him.
Pace is too high, isn't it? But of course Martin is a brilliant time trialer, having won a bronze in the World Time Trial Championships, and that's why he can just keep turning that gear relentlessly at the front. Now they're getting near to the turn for the climb.
They are, and you've got about literally 100 metres of tarmac road, and then it kicks up all the way to the top. 1 in 5.
So a 1 in 5 facing these riders, and when they do crest the summit, they can almost look down and see the finish. Look at the cobbles here. Now they're searching, aren't they, for the smoother path at the side. But look at the contrasting riding styles here. Albacini sitting in the saddle in that typical crouching climbing style with his hands in the middle of the bars and the rest just clinging to his wheel.
Yeah, there's different styles there. 1 or 2 are getting out of the saddle, like you say. But now Albacini is also getting out of the saddle. But McNally's still holding on to his wheel.
He is. He's doing a good rider. McNally, the An Post man in green, but look at this, they're almost forced to a standstill. The crowd are loving the action. Albacini is really piling on the pressure, and it's Ian Bibby on the right that's going well here as well.
Yeah, Ian Bibby doing a great ride there, but there's just a little gap. It's only about 10 metres at the moment, but if that opens up a little bit more, he only needs 4 or 5 seconds at the top, and it'll be difficult to catch him.
There's a yellow jersey of Henderson, and he's trying to get back into the wheel of Richie Port, because Port went through our shot just ahead of Henderson. But the gap is beginning to stretch out now, and Albacini is going away.
Yeah, just about 20 metres. It's inch by inch on this sort of climb.
The crowd are getting a fantastic view here of this incredible bike race. And here are 1 or 2 of the back markers just limping over the line as we come back to the summit. And Albacini is the man that is going to get to the corner first.
Well, he's going to take some catching now. He's just got to negotiate the tricky little descent. There's a couple of sharp right-hand bends before the turn into the finishing straight.
Well, he took a quick look back, but that looks to me to be an advantage good enough to win the stage. Yeah. Look at the man. He really has profited, hasn't he, from the hard work of Tony Martin. 10 seconds already. That is a very useful working cushion. And 1:25 back to the next group that contains Greg Henderson, the yellow jersey. So Henderson is going to lose the race lead here. Yeah,
it's looking like a great piece of work by Albacini today, and of course the HEC Columbia team. But just saw him there skid. He had a little bit of a fright then, I would have thought.
That'll make the hard jump, but now he's finding the big gear, and he keeps taking those looks back, so he is anxious, but that's a superb advantage.
It is. We've just got this fast sweeping left-hander, and then 2 right-hand bends in consecutive before the finishing straight, and he's inside the last kilometre.
And we're back to the climb, and that's Richie Port, the king of the mountains, the Australian, just coming over the top as the leader is now sweeping right into the finishing funnel, and this is going to be a sweet arrival for him.
He is. He's driving all the way to the line. It's not just about the stage victory, it's the seconds as well.
So we'll keep an eye on the clock. Remember, they started the stage with Henderson in yellow, 14 seconds ahead of Albacini, but he was 1:25 back the last time check. So it's this man from HTC Columbia that I reckon we're going to crown as the new leader, and that means 3 yellow jerseys in 3 days. It's changed every day. Look at that, the victory salute, the clenched fist. The winner of the stage here is Michael Albacini. Now coming over the line for a good ride second is Ian Bibby, and just behind him is Steen Niernik, and he rides on the Tob3Part Flandrian team. 14 seconds has gone, so the yellow jersey is going to go now to Albacini as Meyer crosses the line 4th after being in the hunt for a stage victory for a long, long way. This is McNally of the An Post Sean Kelly team, and just behind him it's Simon Richardson for Sigma Sport. But here we are, a chance once again to live the closing moments. Michael Albacini wins stage 3, his first win of the year, and that will give him the yellow jersey. King of the Mountains, Richie Port on the left, just going past Tony Martin, and behind Richie Port is Jack Bauer, the Kiwi, who had a bad day on stage 1, but he's had a good one today. And the man at the back of this next train of riders coming in is Greg Henderson, the yellow jersey, and he's 1:27 back from the stage winner.